Age gap love Nandini and Vikram's unlikely episode 8 what's waiting for us of the journey. Life had finally settled into a rhythm for Vikram and Nandini. Vikram was navigating his new responsibilities at work, and Nandini's blog and community events continued to thrive. They felt content, their lives filled with purpose and a strong sense of togetherness. Little did they know, a new surprise was about to add another layer to their story. One quiet Sunday morning, Nandini woke up feeling unusually exhausted. She had been attributing her fatigue to the recent busyness of her projects and the demands of organizing community meetups. However, that morning, she felt different, something she couldn't quite put her finger on. Later that day, she sat with Vikram on their porch, sipping tea. "I don't know, Vikram," she started hesitantly. "I've been feeling strange lately, more tired than usual and just off." Vikram looked at her with concern, placing a comforting hand on hers. "Maybe it's just stress, or you might need a break after everything you've been doing. Why don't we take a weekend away?" Nandini smiled at his suggestion. "That does sound nice, but I think I should get a checkup just to be sure." The following week, Nandini made an appointment with her doctor, expecting routine results. However, when she received a call from the clinic, the news was anything but ordinary. Her doctor informed her that she was, in fact, pregnant, a complete surprise given her age. Nandini sat in stunned silence, absorbing the revelation. She and Vikram hadn't planned for another child, and at 40, she hadn't expected this possibility. A mixture of shock, joy, and a hint of anxiety coursed through her. She knew she had to share the news with Vikram, who had always been an incredible father and partner. That evening, as they prepared dinner together, Nandini's heart raced. She tried to gauge how to share the unexpected news, knowing that it would change the rhythm of their lives yet again. "Vikram, can we sit for a moment? I have something important to tell you," she said, her voice both calm and filled with anticipation. He looked at her with curiosity, sensing the seriousness of her tone. "Of course, Nandini. Is everything okay?" Taking a deep breath, she gathered her thoughts. "Well, I went to the doctor, and I'm pregnant," she said, watching his face for a reaction. For a moment, Vikram simply stared at her, his eyes widening in surprise. Slowly, a smile spread across his face, his initial shock turning into joy. "Are you serious? We're having a baby?" he asked, his voice filled with wonder. Nandini nodded, a soft smile tugging at her lips. "Yes. I was just as surprised as you are. I wasn't expecting this, especially at this stage in life. But here we are." Vikram pulled her into a warm embrace, his happiness radiating from him. "This is incredible, Nandini. Another little one to share our love with." He looked at her with admiration. "We've faced so much together. This is just another chapter, a beautiful, unexpected one." As they absorbed the news, they spoke excitedly about what this meant for their family and how their lives would change. The challenges of raising a newborn again, while unexpected, felt manageable with each other's support. Nandini shared her anxieties about her age, wondering if she'd have the energy for a new baby while balancing her work and family. But Vikram reassured her, his voice filled with confidence. "We'll face it together, just like everything else. You're strong, and we've built a network of support around us. We'll have help, and our kids will be thrilled." When they shared the news with their children, the family's excitement filled the room. Their kids were thrilled at the idea of a new sibling, and Maya, who had become like family, was ecstatic, pledging her support and help wherever they needed it. In the following weeks, Nandini and Vikram adjusted to the idea of expanding their family. They began preparing their home, carving out a nursery, and creating a plan for how they'd balance their roles. Nandini continued her community work but paced herself, ensuring she had time to rest and prioritize her health. One evening, Vikram took Nandini on a quiet dinner date to celebrate. Sitting across from her, he looked at her lovingly. "It's amazing how life keeps surprising us, isn't it? Just when we thought we had it all figured out, the universe had other plans." Nandini chuckled, nodding in agreement. "I guess we're never too old for new beginnings. This little one is already teaching us to stay open to life's twists and turns." As their hands intertwined over the candle-lit table, they shared a moment of gratitude for the journey they had embarked on together. This unexpected chapter was a reminder of the strength of their love and resilience, proof that life could be full of surprises, no matter their age. The anticipation of welcoming their new child filled their days with renewed energy and hope. They embraced each moment, aware of the unique blessing that life had bestowed upon them. Together, they faced the future with open hearts, ready to embrace every joy and challenge that lay ahead. As the news of Nandini's pregnancy settled into their lives, a new rhythm began. Each day was filled with anticipation, excitement, and an undeniable sense of gratitude. Vikram and Nandini's relationship, already seasoned by years of shared challenges and growth, felt even more intimate as they prepared for the arrival of their new baby. One morning, as Nandini sorted through some baby items their friends had gifted them, Vikram entered the room with a gentle smile. "How are you feeling today?" he asked, placing a comforting hand on her shoulder. Nandini looked up, her eyes sparkling. "Surprisingly well. A bit tired but happy. It's funny, I never imagined I'd be doing this again, especially now." Vikram nodded, understanding her sentiments completely. "Life is unpredictable, isn't it? But I wouldn't want to be doing this with anyone else." They shared a quiet, heartfelt moment, reflecting on how far they had come together. Both of them knew that age was just a number when it came to facing life's surprises. In the following weeks, they made small adjustments to their lives. Nandini's work on her blog and community events continued, but she shifted her focus to online interactions and smaller gatherings that wouldn't exhaust her. Vikram was always by her side, reminding her to rest and taking on more household responsibilities to ease her load. As her pregnancy progressed, Nandini found herself occasionally worried about the physical demands of carrying a child at 40. But Vikram remained her steadfast support, encouraging her to share her concerns openly. "Let's take this one day at a time," he would say. "We've overcome so much together, and we'll handle whatever comes our way." One evening, Vikram surprised Nandini with a journal. On the cover, he had written, "Our journey of new beginnings." Inside, he had left space for Nandini to jot down her thoughts, dreams, and moments throughout her pregnancy. "This is for you," he said, handing it to her. "I thought it might be nice to document this experience, to look back one day and remember this unexpected chapter." Nandini's heart melted at the thoughtful gesture. She began using the journal, capturing her feelings, the little milestones of her pregnancy, and reflections on her journey with Vikram. It became a cherished outlet, helping her process the ups and downs of this stage in life. The weeks passed swiftly, and soon it was time for their first ultrasound appointment. Vikram held Nandini's hand as they watched the screen, both overcome with emotion as they saw their baby for the first time. The tiny heartbeat filled the room, a gentle reminder of the new life growing within her. "That's our little one," Vikram whispered, his voice thick with emotion. Nandini squeezed his hand, feeling an overwhelming sense of love for both Vikram and their child. As they left the appointment, the doctor offered them some advice. "Pregnancies later in life can be a bit more demanding, so make sure to prioritize health and rest. But with support like yours," he added with a smile toward Vikram, "I'm sure you'll do wonderfully." Vikram and Nandini walked out into the sunlight, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. They were ready to embrace this journey together, knowing it would strengthen their bond even further. Back at home, their children had created a "Welcome Baby" banner, excited to celebrate this new chapter. The family gathered around the dinner table, and each of their children shared what they were most looking forward to about having a new sibling. The evening was filled with laughter, joy, and a sense of unity that reminded Vikram and Nandini of how blessed they were. As they tucked their children in that night, Vikram and Nandini lay down together, talking softly about the future. "This baby has already taught us so much," Nandini murmured. "Life doesn't always go as planned, but it has a way of giving us exactly what we need." Vikram kissed her forehead. "And with you by my side, Nandini, I feel ready for anything. This journey, as unexpected as it is, feels like a gift, a new beginning for us both." With hearts full of gratitude, they drifted off to sleep, embracing every moment of the beautiful, unpredictable journey that lay ahead. As Nandini's pregnancy progressed, her online community became a tremendous source of support. When she shared her news with her followers, she was surprised and touched by the flood of encouragement and congratulations from friends, blog readers, and even strangers. Many women shared their own stories of unexpected parenthood, some later in life, and expressed how their journeys brought new meaning to their lives. One afternoon, as Nandini scrolled through the messages, she found herself inspired by the collective strength and resilience of her community. "I never realized how many people would relate to this," she told Vikram over dinner. "It makes me want to bring them together, to create a space where they can share their journeys and support one another." Vikram smiled at her enthusiasm. "You've always been great at bringing people together. Maybe this is the perfect time for a new project, something that allows you to connect with these women on a deeper level." With his encouragement, Nandini decided to create an online series dedicated to celebrating stories of women who, like her, experienced motherhood unexpectedly or later in life. She called it "Blooming in Every Season," aiming to reflect the idea that life could flourish at any age and that every season brought its own unique beauty. The series quickly gained traction. Women from all walks of life reached out, sharing their experiences of love, resilience, and adaptation. Nandini conducted virtual interviews, gathering and posting their stories, each one a testament to strength, adaptability, and the power of love. Vikram often joined her for the sessions, listening to the stories and offering his own encouragement, which only deepened their bond. One evening, Maya, their close family friend, visited. As Nandini shared the success of her new project, Maya listened intently, inspired by the powerful impact it was having. "This is wonderful, Nandini. You're creating a space that gives people a voice and a sense of belonging," Maya said, her eyes shining with admiration. "I'd love to help in any way I can." Touched by Maya's enthusiasm, Nandini suggested they co-host a virtual event for the women who had shared their stories. The idea was to celebrate their journeys, connect them with others, and create a supportive network where they could continue to find encouragement. With Maya's organizational skills and Vikram's technical support, the event quickly took shape. On the day of the event, Nandini logged into the virtual meeting, greeted by a screen filled with smiling faces. Women from across the country joined, some with newborns in their arms, others with older children by their sides. The atmosphere was filled with warmth and camaraderie. Nandini began by sharing her own journey and how her unexpected pregnancy had inspired her to create this space. "Motherhood doesn't come with a set timeline," she said, her voice steady and full of conviction. "We all have different paths, but each of us is capable of blossoming, no matter the season." As she looked at the faces on the screen, she could see nods of agreement, some women with tears in their eyes, moved by the realization that they weren't alone. One by one, women shared their stories, tales of joy, hardship, resilience, and hope. Each story added a unique thread to the tapestry of shared experience, creating a strong sense of unity and understanding. At one point, a woman named Priya spoke up. She had recently given birth at the age of 42, feeling isolated and overwhelmed by societal judgments. "But hearing all of you," she said, "I feel less alone. It's reassuring to know there are others who understand this journey. Thank you, Nandini, for bringing us together." Vikram, sitting beside Nandini, reached for her hand. He was proud of the safe haven she had created, a place where people could feel seen, understood, and celebrated. As the event came to a close, Nandini shared a few parting words, her heart full of gratitude. "Thank you all for being here, for sharing so openly. This space is here for you whenever you need it, and remember, we are all in this together." After the event, Vikram and Nandini sat together, reflecting on the impact of the gathering. "You've built something truly special, Nandini," Vikram said. "Your community has become a family for so many people, and I couldn't be prouder of you." Nandini leaned her head on his shoulder, smiling. "I couldn't have done it without you, Vikram. This journey has taught me that love, support, and community can overcome any challenge." As her pregnancy continued, Nandini leaned on the strength of her online community as much as they leaned on her. Each message of encouragement, every shared story, became a reminder of the resilience within her. And with every new day, as she felt the gentle movements of the baby growing inside her, Nandini knew that this season of life, as unexpected as it was filled with meaning, purpose, and boundless love. She and Vikram were ready to face whatever lay ahead, surrounded by a community that had become a part of their family. As the months passed, Vikram and Nandini's home transformed with excitement for the arrival of their newest family member. They prepared the nursery, their children eagerly helping to choose colors and decorations. The energy of anticipation filled their lives, creating a beautiful, buzzing atmosphere. One weekend, their close friend Maya proposed an idea to celebrate Nandini's pregnancy. "Why don't we throw a special gathering for you, Nandini? Something intimate but meaningful, where we can honor your journey," she suggested. Nandini hesitated. She'd always preferred being the one to organize events for others. But Maya's excitement was infectious, and with a little encouragement from Vikram, she agreed. Together, Maya and Vikram secretly planned a celebration of seasons party, inspired by Nandini's blooming in every season project. They wanted it to reflect her belief that life's beauty could flourish at any age and stage. On the day of the celebration, Nandini was surprised to find her home transformed. The rooms were decorated with delicate flowers and greenery symbolizing each season, a nod to the idea that every phase of life held its own unique beauty. As friends and family gathered, Maya invited everyone to share something special about Nandini and Vikram. One by one, loved ones stood up, recounting stories, moments, and qualities that made them cherish this remarkable couple. There were stories of Nandini's compassion, her resilience, her ability to uplift others, and Vikram's unfailing support and gentle strength. Vikram's father, who had traveled from a distance, stood up and shared a story from Vikram's childhood. Even as a boy, Vikram had a big heart and a desire to help others. And now, seeing him as a husband and father, I am so proud of the life he and Nandini have built together. The room filled with warmth as people laughed, shared memories, and expressed their gratitude. Nandini's eyes glistened as she took in the words, realizing how deeply her journey with Vikram had impacted those around them. When it was Vikram's turn to speak, he walked over to Nandini, holding her hand gently. "Nandini, you've taught me that life is about more than just goals or achievements. It's about the quiet, meaningful moments we share and the love we give each other. This journey has been full of unexpected twists, but I wouldn't change a single thing. I love you and our family more than anything." Nandini felt a surge of gratitude for Vikram, whose unwavering love had been her anchor through all the changes and challenges. She spoke softly to the crowd, her voice filled with emotion. "Thank you, everyone. This journey has shown me that love is limitless and that life can surprise us in the most wonderful ways. Each of you has been a part of our story, and we are grateful to have you by our side as we prepare for this next chapter." Later in the evening, Maya presented a special gift, a book that she had created, filled with heartfelt messages, photographs, and memories contributed by everyone at the celebration. Flipping through the pages, Nandini was deeply moved. Each entry held a piece of her journey, from her early days with Vikram to the community she had built. As the night wound down, Nandini and Vikram stood together, reflecting on the day's celebrations. Holding the book close, Nandini looked up at Vikram with a tender smile. "I feel so lucky, Vikram. This isn't just about us, it's about everyone who has been with us, supporting and guiding us along the way." Vikram nodded, pulling her close. "We are truly blessed. This family, this community, our love, they're what give life meaning. I couldn't imagine this journey without you." Hand in hand, they walked through the house, the gentle glow of the decorations casting a warm light around them. They looked forward to the new life they were about to welcome, feeling grateful for every season they had faced together, knowing that their love and community would carry them through whatever lay ahead. With just a few weeks left until the baby's arrival, Nandini and Vikram's anticipation grew with each passing day. Their home was ready, the nursery stocked with essentials, and their children eagerly counting down, curious about what it would be like to have a new sibling. One evening, as Nandini and Vikram relaxed together after dinner, she looked over at him with a gentle smile. "I can't believe we're here, Vikram. It feels like we were just meeting each other, wondering if a love like ours could work with all the odds stacked against us. Vikram took her hand, his gaze full of warmth. And now, here we are, about to begin a new chapter. I wouldn't change a thing, Nandini. Every step with you has been worth it. Nandini sighed contentedly, leaning against him. They shared a quiet moment, letting the enormity of this upcoming life change sink in. Over the years, they had faced every challenge together, and this journey felt like the culmination of all they had built. That night, Nandini was awakened by a sudden flutter, stronger than any she'd felt before. She lay still, waiting to see if it would pass, but the sensation grew, and she realized she was experiencing her first contractions. Taking a deep breath, she nudged Vikram awake. Vikram, she whispered. I think it's time. He shot up, his eyes wide with surprise but filled with determination. Are you sure? Now? He asked, quickly shaking off his grogginess. Nandini nodded, her voice steady. Yes, it's starting. I can feel it. Within moments, Vikram was in full-on preparation mode, helping Nandini breathe through the early contractions while they gathered their things. He woke their children, explaining what was happening, and arranged for Maya to come over to stay with them. Before they left, Vikram took a moment to kneel beside their children, giving each of them a reassuring hug. You're going to meet your little brother or sister soon, he said with a warm smile. Take care of each other, and we'll be back before you know it. In the quiet hours of the early morning, Vikram and Nandini made their way to the hospital. The familiar drive, usually marked by casual conversation, was filled with a shared silence, both of them focused on what lay ahead. Vikram held her hand tightly, offering silent strength as they arrived. The hours passed in a blur, with contractions growing stronger, and Vikram never leaving Nandini's side. He whispered words of encouragement, helped her through her breathing, and reminded her that they were in this together. Through each wave of pain, Nandini drew strength from him, feeling his unwavering support. Finally, after hours of labor, they heard the sound they had been waiting for, the first cries of their baby. Nandini's heart swelled as she looked at the tiny, beautiful face of their child, feeling an overwhelming sense of love and gratitude. It's a girl, the nurse announced, placing the baby in Nandini's arms. Vikram's eyes filled with tears as he leaned close, wrapping an arm around both Nandini and their newborn daughter. She's perfect, just like her mother, he whispered, his voice choked with emotion. Exhausted but overjoyed, Nandini gazed at their daughter, feeling a connection so profound that it took her breath away. This was the culmination of their journey, a love that had grown, endured, and now brought a new life into the world. Later, as they rested with their daughter in Nandini's arms, Vikram spoke softly. She's going to be loved so deeply, Nandini. We're going to give her a life filled with joy and kindness, surrounded by a family that will always be there for her. Nandini nodded, looking up at him. I couldn't have done this without you, Vikram. This journey, this love, it's all because of us, together. As they lay there, basking in the warmth of their new family, they knew that this was the beginning of yet another beautiful chapter. And though the road ahead would hold its own surprises and challenges, they were ready to face it hand in hand, knowing that their love would always guide them forward. Age Gap Love Nandini and Vikram's Unlikely episode 9 to be continued.